the outer framework, the outline of your C3 cycle. In the previous sessions, we have discussed about the three-step process of C3 cycle. So in this present module, the outline, how you can easily learn or remember the outline framework of your C3 cycle. So the first unit that you can easily remember this C3 cycle is Ruby, Pagal, Topper. So Ruby means she is a lady. Pagal, she is very fond. She is very fond for studies and she is a topper. So Pagal means she is mad for studies. So this is the middle name. Ruby, Pagal, Topper. So Ruby is Pagal for studies and she is a topper. Ruby means Rubisco enzyme, the key enzyme for your Calvin cycle. So this is your key enzyme, that is Ruby. Rubisco is a key enzyme, that is your Ruby, which is a very important enzyme for your C3 cycle. And Pagal, PAG, remember PAG, Pagal, PAG is nothing but your phosphoglyceric acid, PGA, PAG, okay, phosphoglyceric acid. Next is your Topper, Topper for your triose phosphate isomerase. So TP, triose phosphate isomerase is the enzyme. So this whole reaction. So this is in a three-step process. Again, this is the three important factors. That is your Rubisco enzyme and your phosphoglyceric acid and your triose phosphorase enzyme. Okay. So this is the middle. Ruby, Pagal, Topper. Next. If you move your 2 table and 5 table, you can easily learn your C3 cycle. As you all know, the initial compound that are responsible for your C3 cycle is your 3-carbon containing compound, and that is nothing but 12 molecules of phosphoglyceric acid. This phosphoglyceric acid is a C3 carbon containing compound, isn't it? Hence the name C3 cycle. This cycle starts with the C3 carbon containing compound. Hence the name C3 cycle, and it is Melvin and his co-workers first observed this Calvin cycle, and hence it is also known as Calvin cycle from the scientist names. So coming to the outline framework of your C3 cycle. So again, this is a three-step process, that is carbon fixation and reduction and regeneration. Now the first step, that is carbon fixation, is observed here. Here see, your carbon dioxide is fixed with your ribose 5-phosphate, which will form ribose 5-phosphate, which will form your 12-phosphoglyceric acid in the presence of the enzyme Rubisco, isn't it? So this ribose, okay, so this is the key enzyme. So here your carbon fixation is observed. So this is the first step where your carbon fixation is observed. Already we have discussed where this 6 molecules of carbon dioxide will go at this 6 molecules of ribose 5-phosphate will get fixed with your 6 molecules of carbon dioxide to form a 3-carbon containing compound of 12 molecules with phosphoglyceric acid. See here the table where, so this is a 5-carbon containing compound C5 and this is your C6, 6 molecules of C5 containing molecules. Hence this is totally 30 carbon containing compounds are there. 30 carbons are present in this particular compound, that is 6 ribose 5-phosphate, 6 C5. So 6 5s are 30. And introduction of 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 6C, means totally 36. So 36 should be balanced here also. 12 molecules of C3 means your 3s are 36. So balanced, isn't it? So this is how the whole cycle is rotating. So the cycle starts with the 30 carbon containing compound and whole the cycle repeats, and your glucose, that is C6H12O6, the food for your plants, is synthesized here. So the whole cycle is done with your 30 carbon containing compound with the introduction of 6 CO2 molecules, and at last only 6 carbon containing compound, that is your glucose, is released, and again the 30 carbon containing compound is recycled, and the 6 CO2 is coming from your atmosphere, isn't it? Now, again 12 molecules of phosphoglyceric acid in presence of kinase enzyme. In presence of kinase, it will form 12 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid. Again, this is a CP carbon containing compound with 12 molecules, so 36 is balanced. Now, this is reduction. So that is the second step, reduction. That is carbon fixation first step, and this is reduction. Here reduction in presence of dehydrogenase enzyme. Here what happened? Again 12 molecules of phosphoglyceraldehyde is formed in presence of dehydrogenase enzyme. Now this 12 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde is split into 2 molecules, 5 molecules, 3 molecules and 2 molecules. 2 plus 5 7, 7 plus 3 10, 10 plus 2 12. So 12 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde split into 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde, 5 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde, 3 molecules of phosphoglyceraldehyde and 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde. Now this 5 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde is again split into 5 molecules of DHA, dihydroxyacetone phosphate. This is your glycolysis steps. Already these steps you have learned in your glycolysis. So dihydroxyacetone phosphate. So this is the reduction. This is your isomerase step where 5 your 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde is converted into, in presence of triose phosphate isomerase enzyme, it is converted into 5 molecules of DHAP, that is dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Now this 5 molecules of dihydroxyacetone phosphate is again split into 2 molecules of DHAP and 3 molecules of DHAP. So this 3 molecules of DHAP, again remember this is a C3 carbon containing compound. Okay. So this 3-DHAP. So 3C3 means totally 9 carbons are present, isn't it? So this totally 9 will form. So C3 is a 9 will react with a C3 containing compound, 3 molecules of C3, that is 3 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde, 3 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde with 3 molecules of dihydroxyacetone phosphate. 9 plus 9 total 18. So fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. This fructose is a C6 carbon containing compound and these are 3 molecules of fructose are formed. So 6 3s are 18. 9 plus 9 18 and 6 3s are 18. Got balanced, right? So here with the combination of 3 dihydroxyacetone phosphate with 3 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde will form a 18 carbon containing compound, 3 molecules of 6 carbon containing compound, that is fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. From here, this 3 molecules of fructose 1,6-bisphosphate will again split into 2 molecules of fructose 1,6-bisphosphate and 1 molecule of fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Now this 1 molecule of fructose 1,6-bisphosphate in a series of reaction in your as of your glycolysis, reverse of your glycolysis, here glucose is formed, isn't it? So this is a food material for your plants. Here the total carbon here starts with 30 with an introduction of 6 CO2. So remember this cycle will take the 6 turns, isn't it? So 6 CO2 here, 6 carbon containing compound is released, that is glucose produced by the plants and it is utilized as food. Now the remaining 30 carbon atoms will participate in the reaction and again it will regenerate to form ribulose 5-phosphate. See how it is there in regeneration. So up to here this is reduction. So up to here reduction. Up to here dehydrogenase enzyme formation of 12 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde is reduction. Now from here this is regeneration. So this is your third step. So already we have discussed 5 molecules of DHAP is split into 2 molecules and 3 molecules. Now this 3 molecules of DHAP with a combination of 3 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde will form 3 molecules of fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Again this 3 molecules of fructose 1,6-bisphosphate will again split into 2 molecules of fructose 1,6-bisphosphate and 1 molecule of fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Now this fructose 1,6-bisphosphate will form glucose, that is your reversal steps of your glycolysis. Now glucose is formed. Now this 2 molecules of fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is 2C6 means totally 12. So 12 carbon containing compounds will go and react with your 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde. So here 6 plus 12, 18. So in presence of trans-ketolase enzyme, this 2 molecules of fructose and this 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde will form 18 carbon containing compounds, 2 carbon containing compounds, that is xylulose 5-phosphate. 2C5 means 10, 2 5s are 10, and 2 molecules of erythrose 4-phosphate, that means 2C4. 2C4 means 8, 2C5 means 10, 10 plus 8, 18. So it got balanced, isn't it? So here you got 2 pentoses, that is 2 pentoses and thiols, that is your 2 molecules of xylulose 5-phosphate and 2 molecules of erythrose 4-phosphate. Now this 2 molecules of 5 carbon containing compound will kept aside, and this 4 carbon containing compound, that is 2 molecules of erythrose 4-phosphate, will react with the left 2 DHAP. So this is 2C3 means totally 2C3, 2 3s are 6C6, and this is a 2C4 means totally C8. C8 plus C6 means C14. So in presence of trans-amylase enzyme, 2 molecules of 7-hexose 1,7-bisphosphate means 274. 14 carbons got balanced, isn't it? Now this C14, that is 2 molecules of 7-hexose 1,7-bisphosphate, will again in presence of phosphatase enzyme, removal of 1 phosphate, in presence of phosphatase enzyme, it will form 2 molecules of 7-phosphate. Removal of phosphate of the first position of your carbon. So this 2 molecules of 7-phosphate, this is a 2C7 means 14 carbon containing compound, will react with 2 carbon containing compound of 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde means 2C3. Totally 6, and here it is 14. 14 plus 6, 20. In presence of trans-ketolase enzyme, it will produce 2 molecules, 2 pentoses, that is 2 molecules of xylulose 5-phosphate, 2 molecules of ribose 5-phosphate. 2C5, 10, 2C5, 10, 10 plus 10, 20. So 14 plus 6, 20. Got balanced, right? So now up to here these are formed. Now this left. Now here the left 5 molecules of xylulose 5-phosphate. This xylulose 5-phosphate, that is a pentose, will react with all these 3 pentoses, that is 2 molecules of xylulose 5-phosphate and 2 molecules of ribose 5-phosphate and 2 molecules of xylulose 5-phosphate. Means at last 4 molecules, 2 plus 2, 4 molecules of xylulose 5-phosphate will react with 2 molecules of ribose 5-phosphate in presence of phosphoribose tetramerase and ribulose phosphate tetramerase to form 6 molecules of ribulose 5-phosphate. So 10 plus 10 plus 10, 2C5 10, 2C5 10. Here also 2C5 10. 1, 2, 3. 10 plus 10 plus 10. Totally 30. So this is your 30 carbon containing 6C5. So 10 plus 10 plus 10, 30. So this is how your 6 molecules of ribulose 5-phosphate is formed. Again the 6 molecules of ribulose 5-phosphate will get fixed with your carbon dioxide from your atmosphere with 6CO2 to form 12 molecules of phosphorus acid. So this is how your C3 cycle is being the outline of your C3 cycle with a very simple tables, that is your 2 table and with your 5 tables. Simply you can just balance your number of carbons and you can learn very easily this C3 cycle. So this is the outer skeleton part of your C3 cycle. And in the next session we will be learning about the net reaction number of ATPs. Already we have discussed in the previous session number of ATPs that are released and number of NADPH, isn't it? In a single step, the modulators and the enzymatic activity of this particular C3 cycle we will be learning in the next session. Okay, so this is about C3 cycle, the outline skeleton part of your C3 cycle. Just you have to count your balance your carbon number with one compound to the another, how it will react. So this is little bit complicated. Don't think it is complicated, but you can just count your balance your carbon atom, number of carbons, and you can go with the reaction. At last, 2 molecules of xylulose 5-phosphate and 2 molecules of ribose 5-phosphate, and again another 2 molecules of xylulose 5-phosphate are released. This 10 plus 10 plus 10 will form C30 carbon containing molecule, that is 6 molecules of ribose 5-phosphate. So 30 got balanced. So at last your glucose is released, that is C6H12O6. So this is how glucose is produced and plants can prepare their